Today, Senator John McCain said he'll be back soon.
This week, doctors diagnosed the Arizona Republican with brain cancer. It's called glioblastoma. Only 10% of patients live 5 years with that diagnosis. That's compared to 90% with breast cancer and 65% with colon cancer. So why are some cancers more aggressive than others? Good question. Here's Heather Brown.
I would assume that with the brain, it might be harder to find.
Yeah, they got to catch it early.
And treat without, detrimental damage to the brain itself.
The problem with glioblastoma is by the time it's there, almost always there are tiny little microscopic foci that have spread elsewhere.
The tumor is a problem because it's a very fast-growing tumor, number one.
Dr. John Trusheim is a neuro-oncologist with Allina Health.
Its behavior is such that it wants to grow into the brain.
It creates these finger-like projections through the brain.
Even though we have excellent neurosurgeons, their inability to get the entirety of it out without harming the person is limited.
And like pancreatic or lung or ovarian cancer, doctors don't usually find it for a while.
Until it gets big enough to give a more dramatic symptom, it's simply not noticed by many people.
Have you ever had a colonoscopy?
Yep.
Have you had a mammogram recently?
I sure have.
We're the other end of the spectrum. We can't take everybody's MRI of their brain every 6 months, and we cannot give everybody ultrasounds of their pancreas every year.
How a cancer interacts with a treatment also makes a big difference. Take childhood leukemia.
In the old days, children died from leukemias.
Now, survival rates are between 65 and 80%.
Those tumors are clones. Each cell is identical to the next. And so if you can figure out how to kill one of those cells, you've killed them all.
We're talking about statistics, but you point out every case is different.
That's very, very important. And that's a thing I really want to emphasize for the folks that are watching.
My Uncle Donnie had testicular cancer.
My grandmother.
Unfortunately, I have a family member.
So he's just getting over that.
Their physician needs to treat them as a person and not as a statistic. And there's a lot of hope for many people.
Heather Brown, WCCO 4 News.
How much research is done on a particular cancer can also affect survival rates. Our expert said it's very slow in glioblastoma and pancreatic cancer, but they are making strides with immunotherapy and finding genetic similarities among cancers.